What is up, people? I am coming to you from the road. I'm traveling. I'm in Houston, Texas. I like Texas. In fact, I love Texas. I love traveling here and enjoying in the delightful barbecue that exists here. I love brisket, man. Every time I go out for barbecue in Texas, it's just nothing but brisket. That's just me. So if you're a fellow barbecue lover, shout out to you. This is for you. But anyway, I thought I'd just take a little walk here around the neighborhood and just kind of head across the street there. Just riffing a little bit about my thoughts here about music making. I'm always thinking about making music and how hard is it to make music, and making good music is hard. It's something that takes time. There are no shortcuts to getting good at doing something. At least getting good at making music, right? I found that the more that I've done it, the better that I get and the quicker I can work. And that's a great thing, especially as, you know, we talked about in the other video about using samples. You can make music, you know, as the day is long with samples and never write a thing, and you can still call yourself a musician. I really believe that now. That's just part of this new age that we're living in. That is a part of music production and music life that wasn't really a thing before. Before, if you wanted to make a song, you had to write a song. You had to pick up an instrument and you had to play something on the instrument and record it. And you don't have to do that anymore. And that's a blessing and a curse, you know, because I mean, while I do encourage you to use samples and exploit them, really, as much as you feel like you want to or need to get the result that you're looking for, I do urge some caution if you're newer to this and you haven't been doing this for very long, to not go overboard with it, because you know, you don't want to encourage yourself to get lazy and never feel like you have to write anything ever. Arranging a song with nothing but samples is really cool. It's a fun exercise and it gets your brain thinking differently, but you also want to learn some fundamentals, you know, like you do want to use your brain to write your own parts sometimes. I think that's important. So don't give up on that. I'm writing another track now, and you know what? It feels great to be writing again. Because believe it or not, you know, I don't always have the time to sit down and write something because there's always something else that I feel like I need to be doing, you know. That can be some skill that I should be working on sharpening. I should be learning how to get better at video editing, or I should be making more videos like this one to talk to you guys, or I should be getting my name out there on Instagram, or putting together that next email campaign to get more people, to reach more people, you know what I mean? And, you know, I think about these marketing kinds of things, and I mean, I know for you guys that's none of your concern, really, but I say that just to mention the fact that I always feel like there's something else to do besides the actual thing. And this is where I think that we can almost turn this into a life lesson. Sometimes there are things in your life that are there and you feel like, or those things can make you feel as though they're more important than other things that actually are important. So, you know, just peripheral things. You have to remember what your life, you know, clarify what it is that you truly value and what it is that you want out of your life, and then create the space and set aside the time to make that happen. So that ties into our music making, and I'm even preaching to myself. If making music is something that's important to me, then I should keep that front and center. I mean, you know, I have to take care of my normal responsibilities as an adult. I have to have a job. I have to pay the bills. I have to make sure that the lady's taken care of, make sure that she has her time and that our relationship's in good standing, of course. But at the end of the day, you got to have some time for you too. You've got to do the things that make you come alive. And making music is that thing for me. I can't not do it. Does that make sense? I can't possibly live my life without ever making music. I hope that made sense the way I just said that. If I had to live my life and I wasn't allowed to make music, I'd be miserable. That's what I meant to say. And it's not about the views or the following that you get from it or the money that you can make from it, because the truth is you probably won't. You're probably not going to make it big, let's say. Is it possible with today's day and age, with the internet, to carve out a niche and a following? Absolutely, more than ever. But let's just remember that most of us are never gonna make it as full-time musicians to pay the bills. And that's okay. That's not a discouraging thought. That's actually an encouraging thought, because you can do it for the right reasons. You can do it because you love to do it, because it brings you joy. It makes you feel peace on the inside with yourself, that you're doing what it is that you need to do. And you're pushing ahead. You're being who you're meant to be. You know what I mean? And so with that being said, I just want to encourage you guys. The whole point of this rant is just to encourage you to clarify what it is that you really want to be doing, and whether it is that you really want to make music and make awesome music. And if that's your thing, then go for it. And that's what I'm here to help you with. I'm going to be making more. I mean, I hesitate to even use the word tutorial, because I don't, that's not how my brain is wired, really, is to necessarily show you how to do one thing. Sometimes that may be the case. I want to take a different approach. I want to let you in on just how I make music and how I produce. So I'm just going to make videos, and I'm just going to just throw the sync at you. And we're just going to do it. I'm just going to say, hey, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write. And I'm going to show you how I do it. And I'll explain it as I go along. But this isn't a tutorial about showing you a compression trick or a way that I like to use reverb on vocals. It's not about that. I mean, those things have their place, but what makes any of that meaningful is context. It's kind of like guitar players. I used to be really heavily into gear and playing guitar, and I still play sometimes, and I do more production now, obviously, but I can remember sitting around with guitar player friends and just talking about gear, like pedals and amps and what guitar you're using, and this guy uses this, and this is his tone, and blah, blah, blah. And I used to love that stuff. And now I'm sitting here thinking, why did I ever get into that? Who cares? This guy's sound is awesome, but the reason why it sounds awesome is because of context, aka the way that guitar part and that guitar tone sounds in the song. In other words, the music, right? It's not about, oh, the JHS Kilt is an awesome overdrive, even though it probably is. Or Strymon pedals are awesome, which they are, and I love them. But, the Strymon pedal doesn't make music. Without me twisting the knobs and plugging in the guitar, it's nothing. So, anyway, I hope that helps you guys. So, take the time, sit down and write, and don't be afraid of making mistakes. Don't be afraid of failure. You can't fail. So, I hope this was helpful for you guys. I know I'm just ranting, but I wanted to talk to you and just kind of give you a stream of consciousness straight from my brain into your ears, give you a chance to hear that. So, thanks, guys. I'll be talking to you really soon, all right? Next time.